Hey, what's up guys? And in this video, I want to answer the 5 most common questions about Twitter and its purchase by Elon Musk. So let's get started. So the first question you have is probably what happened to Twitter and why is it all over the news? So just almost a month ago on April 4th, 2022, Musk actually purchased 73 million shares of Twitter, which makes him the 9.2% owner of Twitter as a shareholder. And later on, he submitted a bid to acquire Twitter at a certain price. So what he wants to do is to take Twitter, a public company, private. So then he can do whatever changes he wants to increase the value of Twitter so he becomes a major shareholder. So if you look at the share price for Twitter and in terms of the timeline on what's happening, Musk probably purchased somewhere in the early Q1 of 2022 near $32 to $36. And then after it was announced that Musk owns 9% of Twitter, it shot up to 40 something dollars immediately. And then so that puts Musk already at 20-30% gain for his Twitter shares immediately. So the next question you might have is, what is the purchase price and what is the price per share for Twitter? So what is the purchase price for Twitter? If we look at this Bloomberg article, then you can see that Elon Musk is going to buy Twitter all cash with $43 billion. It means the share price will be $54.2 when the deal is done. So the third question you might have is, well, is there any upside remaining for this Twitter play? And if you plan to invest, what should you expect? So the first scenario is that Musk successfully buy Twitter at this predetermined price, 54.2. And if that is the case, then you can see right now the price is already 51.7. So there's only a couple of dollars remaining, so then you can evaluate whether that is worth it for you. So let me just take out the calculator and quickly calculate it for you. 54.2 divided by 51.7. So there's around 4.8% of gain remaining until the deal closes. When you're thinking about these kind of deals, it usually takes a couple of months at least because it needs to go through regulatory approval, so on and so forth, and the delisting procedures. And basically, if you hold on to your shares until it gets sold, then you would get cash back because Musk will be buying all of the shares and you wouldn't have any ownership of Twitter anymore. So the next question you might have is, what happens if Elon Musk fails to buy Twitter? What will happen? So the first scenario is a good one, and the second scenario is a bad one. So the first scenario is that someone comes along and offers an even higher price to buy Twitter. For example, they might offer $60, $70, $80 to buy Twitter, and this becomes a bidding war. And it has happened in the past to some railway companies where they're trying to form oligopoly, and basically the railways keep bidding on top of each other, which leads to the underlying target company to have increase in value over time, even though they are getting their first offer and then they get their second, third, and fourth offer. What happens if it goes south? So it is possible that regulators will block it or the legal proceeding takes a long time and somehow, whatever reason, the deal doesn't go through. If the deal doesn't go through, it is possible that Twitter will drop back down to 30 something dollars. That's the first situation. And there's also a very unlikely situation, which is probably not going to happen now, is the poison pill. So the board previously adopted a strategy to basically prevent Elon Musk from acquiring the company called poison pill, where Elon Musk can acquire up to a certain percentage, I think it's like 10 to 15%, and then the board will automatically issue shares to the shareholders to dilute his ownership. And by doing so, that'll actually tank Twitter price back down to $20, $30 or even lower. But I think looking at the development right now, the board has agreed to accept the offer. So the poison pill approach is probably not going to happen. So if it is going to go south, it's going to become of some regulatory problems. So when you're looking at the Twitter development, it's pretty much done. You're only a couple dollars away from the target purchase price. So there wouldn't be anyone that would buy Twitter in the open market higher than 54 for now, unless there's someone coming in and saying they want to buy Twitter at $60 or even $70. So if you already have Twitter shares, then you can basically cash it in if you don't want to wait, because the legal process can take a couple of months. So there's really no point in waiting if you find another good opportunity. So those are the 5 questions about Twitter that are commonly asked. If you have any additional questions, you can leave a comment below and let me know. And if you like this video, then you can click like and watch some of the other recommended videos as well. As for the one I'm recommending, you can see this little box here is the video I recommend you to watch if you are new to my channel.